Welcome to another episode of Fave Five for Fans, the podcast where we explore and talk and discuss and just really get down into all things favorites. I'm your ever enthusiastic host, Captain James Ray of the starship. I have a starship, USS Barrock.
Nice.
It's a. Well, anyway, we're going to get into that. And today, the father of King Triton himself, Aiden Hargrave's father, has come into the Plastic Microphone Studios for the first time.
Yep.
We've never done this. We don't call this the impossible episode.
Yeah.
Never sat down thinking one was doing one episode and the other was doing a different one.
Yeah. It's perfect.
This is the first time ever. Mm-hmm. And I'm super excited to have Travis Hargrave of Hargrave Plumbing.
Happy to be here, guys. Can't wait. This was just too much fun, to be honest. I've had a really good time. And
was it tough?
Yeah, but when you're enjoying it and it's something that's your favorite, is anything really tough?
A lot of people complain. They're like, it's so hard to decide. But this is a unique idea, and you actually came up with this idea, which I love, because that means that you're really going to bring it.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about today?
So, admittedly, I'm a Trekkie, and some of the other Trek stuff had been done, but I really wanted to do underrated episodes.
Okay, underrated. So, what is underrated? How do you decide that something's underrated?
Well, I try not to take anything that was in like some of those big lists, top 10, top 20.
Okay.
But
you said it twice in a row, so bing, that's a quarter. That's a quarter. I haven't gotten a quarter in a while. Yeah. That's awesome.
You might make some money tonight. No, I kind of tried to stay away from some of those. Mm-hmm. Went through them. I already had some in my mind because, I kind of know what the lists are. The faves are easy, but man, some of them are just so good. And then I'm a big fan of like writers in general.
Okay.
And just some of the stuff that they do and the topics that I just feel like they just get lost. And I mean, some of these, not top.
You still said it,
not
though.
Fave 15 on these other lists.
That's 50 cents.
Like, sometimes you do so much good work.
Yeah.
That some of the great work gets forgotten.
Right. And if you're watching, no, you didn't just have a stroke. We lost one camera, but we're going to keep going. Because you know what? This is happening tonight.
It is the impossible episode.
It is the impossible episode. Q himself is not going to stop this episode.
You know what? That might be what the problem is.
It could be. It
was either that or a colonoscopy that was scheduled by my wife and was told,
no COVID.
COVID tried to kill me. And,
no. None of that.
Tony Soprano. We'll keep going.
Forget about it. Well, I looked at this a slightly different way.
Okay.
So what I did is I decided that, first of all, I'm going to go to IMDb.
Yep.
And I'm going to rank all of them, or they're already ranked. Mm-hmm. And they have an IMDb score of I guess, 0.1 to 10.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, anything that's below 7 is going to be considered underrated. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it is underrated. Mm-hmm. It just means that the general people who vote on it, and that was going to be my litmus test.
Yeah.
So everything on here is a 6.9 or below.
Okay.
With the exception of one. Okay.
I was going to say, I kind of have one that's an exception of one. But
when we get to that, I'll explain why. But I also looked at it and said, you know what? There's so many, and you're a next-gen lover as I am, there's so many next-gen episodes that are underrated, in my opinion. So what I did to make it even harder, I picked, for each of my favorites, I picked one series. So there's only one Next Generation under it.
And I could have done that.
Yeah, no,
but it's like I have one mixed in, and I really could have brought some more in.
Yeah.
But like these just get me so pumped up.
I know. I'm right there with you. So I'm glad that we kind of have two different ways of looking at it.
Yeah.
But there are definitely some out there that we're really going to bring the love to today. Mm-hmm. And I think if you're ready, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I would love to hear your honorable mentions.
All right. which
Stop looking at my list.
no, we're good. Which I changed my honorable mention about 10 minutes ago.
I was looking for a battery
scribbling.
for the camera that just went out, but that's okay.
Yeah, cue. All right, my honorable mention number one. This is kind of a theme for me. Is elementary dear data. Okay.
Okay.
Not really one that I really hear a lot of people talk about, but I do. For some reason, I just appreciated the Moriarty character and the actor. Moriarty's like a special kind of character.
Yes.
You know, he has to be believable as basically like the second smartest person on Earth.
Right.
At all times.
Right.
And to see him face off, you know, for one, the holodeck is just every writer's dream because you can do whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
They would use it, you know, to give the actors a break from just being in the Trek costumes.
Right. And they did some great holodeck episodes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was just, and it kind of just was freshens the whole show up in a way.
Right. Now this was an early season, like season 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was definitely early, and it was the one that kind of just started that character. I know a lot of people, if you're a Trekkie, you know, they kind of made some, and I just thought it was a really cool, unique idea.
Right.
And just the pick with the actor who played Moriarty, I just think was great.
Yeah.
And I just think it was just a really cool idea, and it was like, man, whoever said let's do this, I just think it was a stroke of genius.
Okay, well, so, I'm with you there.
That's what
I think that's a great episode.
Yeah.
I will say I prefer Ship in a Bottle to Elementary Dear Data, but that's because they had really gotten a lot more under their wheels there, and again, the Moriarty came back.
Yeah.
You know, I love when they go back to storylines and pick them up again.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a whole episode right there that you could do. Is, you know, that's how, and I'm really going to get off here. That's how Nicholas Meyer chose to do The Wrath of Khan, to do Space Seed. He sat back and watched every episode of the original series.
Yeah.
And then when he finished, he said,
that's the
we're
one
going to go back to Space Seed.
Yeah.
And I think there's so many of those out there, you know.
And there's so many people who just pop in one episode here, and they just do such a great job. And then all of a sudden you might see their career blossoms later. I mean, there's a whole list of those too.
They don't.
You know?
You do, you know, the comic series does a wonderful job of going back to some of those stories.
That's why I have a few of them. Yeah. No, David Davis was amazing as Moriarty.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Okay. I mean, do you have some more?
Oh, yeah, I got one more. I didn't know if we were going to take turns.
No, you go ahead and give them both.
All right, let's go. Because this was a last-minute change.
Man.
This was one I just found really entertaining. The Perfect Mate.
Yeah,
you got
not Parissa.
Famke Janssen.
Yes.
Yeah. So that goes without speaking. But I really enjoyed a little backstory with me. I've always been obsessed with like the role of leadership.
Okay.
For some reason, it's always motivated me. Big surprise! I run my own company, whatever.
That's better.
There you go.
Yeah. Let there be unlight.
No, dude, your background, you should see our channel. It's just a white background with like a dry erase board or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's great though. Y'all do some fun stuff, especially with your big hat.
Oh, we're working on it. We got some entertaining stuff coming down the pipe.
Awesome.
So,
so we were talking about my future ex-wife, Famke Janssen.
Yeah.
Please, go ahead.
Yeah, no. My wife might not watch this episode, but no, she did. It was really I think it was like her second role, and really like she's on the screen and she just kind of pops, and her character is like so unique, and like made basically for all those who have to like adapt to whatever male she's around, pheromones and all, and to see so many times in this series you never see Picard waver, or you never see him like. He's just strong no matter what. And this was one episode where it was like, you could tell there was temptation. And there was like, of course he would never do wrong. But, you still knew it was there.
Yeah, I mean, and you think about it with like you go back to the Naked
Riker
Now.
too.
That was another time where you did see him, but it was external, sources, not his choice to do it. So,
no, I just found that one. That one was really just. I just thought it was really good, and the way it ended at the end, and it kind of had an emotional ending, and I thought it had a really good line in it. And she's kind of coming on to him, and he's like, "I'm just trying to be as dull as possible." I just thought that was entertaining.
Yeah.
So, but that's my two honorable mentions.
Well, that's awesome. I like those. I like the way you're starting out. I have gone with. Okay, starting off, I'm going to go straight to Star Trek: The Animated Series.
Okay.
So, first of all, that whole show is underrated, okay? People don't realize, because people dismiss it as like a lesser kiddie version of Star Trek, but it's not. And this episode is one of the ones that proves that animation can take that serious science fiction stories with the voices of the cast, and some of the coolest animation for that time period. They were actually able to do, things like underwater shuttlecrafts and personal force fields and stuff that you couldn't have done, on the budgets that they had back then. But this episode was really good because it really creates this effective, eerie mood with a ghost ship, and for me, the parasitic, alien consciousness that goes through it.
Yeah.
It came up with a 6.6 IMDb rating, and I think it was really so cerebral and unsettling, especially for Saturday mornings. I mean, you're watching Hanna-Barbera, and then you're watching Croft Superstores, and then, Spock is fighting with a guy who could pull all of his limbs off, or whatever. But this one was really cool, and I don't think it gets enough credit. So I'm going to choose Beyond the Farthest Star.
Oh, dude, I'll admit that's a blind spot for me, so I'm going to definitely be checking that one out.
It's a good one. Okay, and so my other honorable mention is going to be from Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
Now,
one of my favorites.
Yeah, okay. Anytime I ever talk about DS9, I always want to talk about the ascent with the depowered Odo and Quark having to climb up the mountain with broken legs and all that stuff. So, for me to go through this and say, okay, what's not really rated that well? So, I chose from Season 7, which, you watched it, Season 7 is a blowout. I mean, it is battles, and it is Jim Hadar and Dominion and all that stuff.
Yep.
There's an episode called The Emperor's New Cloak. And it's a quirky little episode, again, involving the mirror universe, which I absolutely love. When done right. Let me make sure to say when done right. And it's because it's got that alternate reality where familiar characters are darker. They're, opposite personalities. But it's primarily a Quark and Rom episode. And yes, not that Rom, but his brother Rom. Where they travel to the mirror universe to rescue the alternate Zek. Because Grand Nagus Zek needs to be there. And I love it gives these two a chance to shine as heroes. Yeah. They both love Moogie, and they would do anything for Moogie, and later on they do. But it also serves kind of like a palate cleanser. Yeah. In the middle of all of this stuff going on in Season 7. And plus, a badass Vic Fontaine with his 2 laser blasters. I mean, come on. Yeah. This should be one of the best.
I know Vic Fontaine was really interesting.
Really great.
What an interesting add-on, and it just kind of added a little bit to it. And I mean, to top it off, I love any Quark episode.
Oh,
we
can start talking about.
I mean, there's so many of them I like, but I really just thought he was really interesting in the show, and really at some parts through the mid parts of the series, I kind of felt like he and Odo were the stars of the show.
Yeah, I could see that.
In some way, Cisco was always good, but I mean,
he was better. He was better as
they made for Hawk. Interesting stories,
They did, and it really had more of that whole operatic, episodic feel to it. Where if you missed an episode, you got to go back and figure out what happened. I mean, the TiVo. I got to add the TiVo noise here.
Yeah, kids these days, they don't understand.
They don't know,
Yeah.
So those are our honorable mentions, and I think we've got a really great start. So I'm ready to go and hear what your number 5 is.
All right. Let me go ahead and flip over, and we'll get this thing going. All right. This one for me, is another one that I just really had fun going back and rehashing again. I already knew that I enjoyed it, loved it, and it's another one of those episodes where Picard is kind of pushed out of his comfort zone. Okay. This one's going to be Disaster. Season 5, Episode 5.
Okay, I love this episode.
What, dude? From Picard and the kids singing Prairie Jacques, it's just something that just stuck
delivering
with
the
baby at
the end. That's
and you have like Picard has an arc from, he's basically locked in, what was it, like a turbo lift or something?
Yeah, exactly what it was.
He's in there with three...
Because it's Captain Picard Day.
Yeah.
I loved it because he was definitely uncomfortable.
He was so uncomfortable and just so out of his comfort zone with those kids, and the kids are just being kids, and I just thought it was a great, one episode arc.
Yeah.
And it was just so much fun to me.
Was Ro Laren on the bridge? Or am I thinking of another episode? It's unimportant.
I know they had I
can't remember who was on the bridge.
Troy's on the bridge, takes command. Yeah, Ro was on the bridge.
Okay.
Because she mentions separating the saucer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's funny is later on, the saucers are in Generations. The saucers are separated, and Troy crashes the saucer.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm not bitter though. No.
No, I just thought. And then you have Riker. Basically, Data sacrifices his body. Head's still active. Riker takes his head. They save the ship by hooking Data's head to the computer.
Right.
Which I just thought it makes for entertaining shots.
It does.
But when it boils down to it, Picard trapped in a small room with 3 kids that make him nervous, and the way he had a hurt ankle.
Yeah, something like that.
Of course, he rallies.
Isn't one of them on his shoulders as they're climbing up and singing the song?
They're singing Prairie Jacques, and he rallies the troops.
Yeah.
And I just thought that one was so much fun.
It was. It was. So I see you like the Picard out of his envelope episodes.
I really do.
So you've got to love the end of Menage a Troy.
Dude, there's so many of
Love
them.
is a fever.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. All right, that's a great another pick, man.
No, man.
I like
Appreciate it.
I like it. Okay, so my number 5 is going to get a lot of hate. And I know that right now, okay? It is one of the few Harry Kim-centric episodes on Voyager, okay? This one is the lowest rated episode on my list at a 3.7.
Wow.
Okay? And it's called Non Sequitur. Now, a lot of people won't remember this episode, or we'll have blocked it out.
Well, let's see, because it's been a while since I watched Voyager, but I admit it, I watched them all. So every single one.
This is the one where Harry wakes up. He's back in San Francisco. He's with his girlfriend, Libby.
Mm-hmm.
And the Voyager is lost in space, and nobody knows anything about it, except for him. And as it goes through, and he knows, wait a minute, I was just on there, The whole storyline is that, no, you didn't go on Voyager, you stayed here. And then he goes and finds out that Tom Paris didn't go on it either. He's there, been released or has escaped or whatever, and gets together with him. And so it's an episode that really shows. I love Garrett Wang. I've got to meet him a couple of times. He's just a spectacularly friendly guy, and I do think it was a shame that pretty much everybody else got a promotion in those 7 years, and Harry didn't. But this one really showcases his loyalty and his dedication to not just to the mission, but to the people there. And I'm going to spoil it for you because, it's been forever. But at the end of the episode, he has to decide to stay in this perfect life of his or go back to Voyager and be lost again.
I was going to say lost in the other corner of the galaxy.
The Delta Quadrant. I mean, Gamma, Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta. Yeah, Delta Quadrant. And it also talks to me about how what the Starfleet officers, all of them, have to give up. It's a cool episode because it really does let him shine. And I found out that it's actually in reading. Garrett actually went to the higher ups and said, "Man, I'd really like a Harry episode. Can we do a Harry episode?" And again, it wasn't really that well received.
No, I do remember that one. It's been a while, but I admittedly, I was not a huge Harry fan.
Yeah.
But no, man, I do remember that. And those actors, it takes so much just to film a season. When you're talking like 27, there's part of me that's like, I'm so glad when they get their episodes,
I am too.
Because
and almost everyone got one. I mean, even Cass had a couple of episodes. So it was really good. Harry has another one where he goes to a planet. I don't remember the name of it, but he goes to the planet and there's like all of these women who think he is someone else and they all fall in love with him and stuff. And I'm like, that's a good one too. But this is the one I had to go non sequitur. Okay, so we are now ready to hear your number 4.
Number 4, Fave. Okay. As previously mentioned, Ship in a Bottle.
Really?
Season 6, episode 12.
This
was not playing either.
A penalty flag to throw down because that is not an underrated episode.
I know.
That is not an underrated. This is your first episode. You usually have to wait till the second or third to start flagrantly breaking the rules like this.
When you've waited 8 months.
And then this is what you do. Oh.
No.
All right, go ahead with Ship in a Bottle, the underrated Ship in a Bottle episode.
Did I mention I'm a Moriarty fan and a Picard fan? And just enjoy brilliant writing holodeck episodes.
It
was amazing.
It was, and Barclay.
Yeah.
Barclay comes up with the idea to save everybody.
Yeah, dude.
It's just, God. I'm sorry, but go ahead with your underrated episode.
It's
should be
just
some more sodium brandy.
I know, huh? I don't know. It's just Moriarty's back, and the moment when he walks off through the door, and it's like, oh my God,
what the hell is happening?
What is going on?
Yes,
but his character, because he's Moriarty. It's believable that he would just have this magical power to walk through the door and become, reality.
And Stephanie Beacham was amazing as his foil.
I was gonna say.
That was just such a good, very not overrated or underrated.
I know, but I want to talk about it really bad.
Episode. You just wanted an opportunity to talk about
when you're like me and you would put it in the top 8.
75 cents.
No, I won't. It was just too much fun. Well, there might be another one where people get upset, but
I like Best of Both Worlds Part 1. That underrated.
I did not do that. I did not do that. That was there's a couple of, and then admittedly, I looked at 2 or 3 lists. We may have looked at different. I did not look at IMDb.
Yeah.
But this one was just, I don't know, just so fun.
Yeah, it really is. It's a great episode.
Yeah.
It's one of the perfect episodes. It really is because it has everybody in it. It has, like you said, this miracle that. I don't know. I can't think of anybody who figured it out what had really happened until the reveal. Because I was like, man, M. Night should be watching this episode to see how to do it.
It's just too cool.
Yeah.
So I've sat there and tricked everybody. I mean, it's just perfect.
Yeah.
It's just straight out of the books.
Straight out of it. Yeah. All right.
Well, I'm sorry I upset everybody, but
No, I think everybody else is probably fine with it.
Yeah,
It's just
I'm happy,
me.
so.
Okay, so this one kind of blew me away. And it's going to be from Strange New Worlds. Mm-hmm. Every one of those episodes is rated pretty highly. I chose one that was at a 6.8, which is still a very good one. And I was very surprised. And when I started reading, a lot of the fans dissed on this episode.
Okay.
And it is going to be Subspace Rhapsody.
All right.
Now, have you been watching Strange New Worlds? Okay.
No, I have not watched this one.
You need to watch that series. It's amazing.
There's so much that I need to watch.
No. You need to be watching this show. If you don't watch any other Trek, this is the show you need to be watching because it is perfect. This episode is quirky, okay? It is a musical episode.
Okay.
All right, now...
Hey,
we're both musical dads.
Yeah, our kids are in the musical theater.
Yeah, all the time.
And that's,
But I'm not a huge musical fan, especially not putting it with... But what happens is that in the time-honored tradition of Trek, when you go back and start looking through it, music has played a huge part in it. You've got, Nichelle Nichols singing early on. You've got your Picard in the flute playing in the inner light, and who can forget the Apple episode? Okay, that's a bad example, but still, there's been music throughout it. And like we said, Vic Fontaine.
I mean,
he was really great.
Just the Star Trek theme is just amazing.
It is. Which has words. The original...
Really?
Yeah, the original one had it. Yeah. They sang it the first time, and then they were like, no.
Yeah, you know what? I think I did hear that before.
Yeah. So what happens is they come up to this like subspace anomaly type thing, and they send in a probe, and the probe shoots out these waves, and people just start breaking out into song. Okay? And it's like a musical. But the thing about it, I was very impressed when I read this, is they had all different kinds of music. I knew that already. Mm-hmm. But every actor was actually singing. Nobody in the episode lip-synced. Okay? And there's one crew member who's like a really tough chick type deal. That she's badass. Mm-hmm. Okay? She's actually a Broadway-ish star. Her name's Christina Chong. And she has a song called How Would That Feel? That song's on my favorites list. When I do Spotify, it comes up. And it's a song, basically, Rebecca Romaine is number one on the ship. And so she's very commanding and very, secure in herself. Mm-hmm. And she opens herself up to the Chong character. And as she walks away, she's like, how would that feel to be able to do that? I don't know how to open up to people. And it's just, I really think it is a vastly underrated episode. And I didn't even know it was. I thought it was like loved, But when I start looking on IMDb, and then that was one of the ones that made me go out onto the net and read some more about it. They just thought it was silly. And I was like, it's not though.
Man, it sounds like another one of those things where I love how they'll take it and they'll write an episode for the actors. Mm-hmm. And they'll write an episode so many times to showcase a different talent or this. And there was
choreography. Yeah. There was dance. There was music.
Yeah.
It was, and the Uhura character.
Yeah.
She was just like going back and forth. And of course, her musical background helped them to figure out what was happening to them. Because they knew it was happening, but they couldn't stop it,
No.
So, all right. We're ready now to hear your number 3.
Okay. Number 3 is another one that I might get fussed at. But it's tricky, because when you're saying underrated, you might be thinking of it as in the bottom 50%. Where I'm thinking if it's underrated, it might belong even higher, and it's in the top 20. Okay?
Aiden, come on, dude.
Oh, he has no clue on Star Trek.
You were supposed to help me on this.
He'll believe whatever I tell him. No, you talk about a tough act to follow. That kid,
Oh yeah,
he comes on and talks about every movie. I mean, it's like
yeah.
an encyclopedia.
he is.
I,
He is.
I don't know where he got that from. Not from me. Let me preface this one by explaining why I think it's underrated.
Okay.
You have the biggest episodes in the entire show. The entire universe comes down to a battle right in front of planet Earth.
Okay.
The Borg.
Stop.
Okay.
You are not literally bringing up Best of Both Worlds Part 1.
No. I'm using that as
Okay.
the preface.
Okay, because we would end the episode at this point.
And you got to also think, I think of so much from a writer's standpoint. How do you reboot after that?
Are you going to talk about brothers?
Yeah. Well, it's...
Okay. I'm
it's
not going to give
still
you crap
in the
because you don't hear about
Wait,
brothers.
okay, wait. I get brothers and family mixed up. I think
No,
it's
I'm
family.
sorry, it's family.
It's family.
It's family.
Yeah.
Family, yeah.
I just have such a respect
Yeah.
for them having the knowledge and what to do. It kind of somehow, in one episode, heals what was done.
Not just then, but also as children.
As children. Yeah. And it's like you go from this show that just had some of the greatest fight scenes in television history.
Yeah.
With the Borg, like one of the ultimate big bads ever.
That decimated
And then-
Starfleet.
Yeah, everything's burnt down. And they go back to square one of family.
Yeah.
And within one episode, you kind of see Picard and his brother argue just like... And it's such... It just shows the two sides that they could do so well. And
Yeah.
somehow, within one episode, so much of it is rebooted that they are back out, and it's believable.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
The wrestling match in the mud is just, I mean,
And-
the thing about this episode that I think bothers me the most is how fickle they were with it in Star Trek Generations. Oh, yeah, they all died in a fire. Wait, what? No! You know, I was really thinking we were going to see, like, his nephew or... But that's just me. I have a lot of problems with Generations. Okay?
Some things are unforgivable, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But,
no, you're right.
I just thought it was really... It's just kind of like, to me, it was a stroke of genius. Like, where do you go from here? This is where you go. You go down to family, brass tacks, the bottom, and you
go back to what
somehow it
really
works.
matters.
Yeah, and him and his brother are just so believable going back and forth. And that sibling jealousy.
Yeah, yeah.
That just kind of, you know, people can just identify with. And it just works. It just works on this other level that's totally opposite of what just happened.
See, this I think, I would think it's an underrated episode for sure. I don't know how it is on, on lists.
It's definitely up there, but, you know, I just feel like, man, what they were able to do was just really, to me, is like, wow.
Did you watch Picard or the first season of Picard?
I was warned about Picard on some. We didn't have it at first, and then like some people were. It's like I almost am so nervous to watch some of it, and I've heard that it gets better towards the end.
Well, first season's
it's like this
great.
is deeply personal for me.
Third season's great.
That's what I've heard.
Second season's not so good. But the reason I bring it up is because the first season, a lot of it takes place. Picard has gone back home and he's living at the vineyard.
Yeah.
And there are, not actual, but there's ghosts of his past there. And they do a really good job of trying to take the pieces that Generations broke and
Scattered all
on
throughout
the floor and spit on it. And oh, I'm sorry, but I'm not bitter.
Yeah,
you know?
no,
But I would tell you, you can actually jump to season 3 if you want, or because that's like season 8.
If you give me the permission, I will. Because like
I give you permission.
I don't want to see it be disrespected.
The Delta Shield.
You know, never insult your audience. Never insult your audience.
Well, they're mostly Hungarian, so they don't really, they don't understand the show. They just watch it for this.
Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever works.
I'm going to allow that one. I am still salty about your other one. Okay? I can't even bring myself to say it again. But I'm going to throw out my number 3 and hopefully explain to you what underrated means. Okay?
Please do.
It's Next Generation.
Okay.
Okay. It's got a 6.7 on IMDb, and it's called Identity Crisis. Okay. Now, do you remember this episode?
I remember all of them.
Okay. So, Geordi goes back to Tarkanan 3, where with some people that he had been stationed with before, or served with. And there are these creatures there. They get called because some people have disappeared, and these creatures are coming out. And as the investigation goes through, you find out that those creatures are the missing people. And there are some things that are changing, metamorphosizing them. Mm-hmm. And Geordi gets it, okay? And he doesn't end up a slug, well, like Paris, but it's this really cool look where it's got like glowing stuff there. One of the reasons I love this episode so much is that Toy Fair and Wizard actually came out. So they came out with a figure for Playmates that was brown with blue on it. But they had a special mail away that you could get, and it was translucent blue.
What?
Okay, and I used to do all these custom figures, and of course it comes in a little bag or a little box.
Yeah.
So I redid a blister card, and I put in a little LED right on the back side of it on his chest.
Yeah.
So when you could pick it up, you could push the button and he would glow. So it's a fun mix. Okay, and this is fun because I love horror. It's a fun mix of sci-fi and body horror.
Yeah.
Okay, with some really character-driven.
Oh yeah, that episode is right up your alley.
It is. It is. There are few episodes that have the horror element to it, and a lot of them aren't done well. I mean, they try Voyager. Now, I will say, if you watch Macro Virus on Voyager, where the little floaty thing goes around and stabs everybody, and it's Neelix and badass Janeway that have to save the day. Yeah. That's a pretty good example, but it's more of an aliens type horror than it is, this one. But I loved the episode, but I gotta say I know I'm tainted with the fact that I love the figure too. So. Oh
no, I definitely remember. I can remember the shots of the brightness and the very vividly.
Yeah.
You mentioned Janeway. I was surprised the other day. I had a Janeway sighting. My strange, crazy, awesome family. We're hooked on Dallas right now.
Oh, okay.
Janeway actually makes an appearance in one of the early Dallas episodes.
So, like from the 70s Dallas?
Oh yeah,
really?
Way back. A young, youthful Janeway.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my god! And my family's like, what are you talking about? Who's that? I was like. So you people are just...
A lot of people don't know. You remember Columbo? Mm-hmm. She actually... You know how you never saw Mrs. Columbo on the show? You always talked about her? But they actually did another show called Mrs. Columbo, and she was Mrs. Columbo.
I can totally believe that.
Yeah, she did great. She's such a versatile actress. I mean, you look at what she's done there, and then you look at Orange is the New Black.
Yep.
And then you turn back around and see her as Admiral Janeway.
What a key move to bring her in right before the show launches, huh?
What?
I really think, looking back on it, have you ever seen some of the pre-Janeway stuff? I really feel like that she has like the gravitas and like the
Well, you know who the pre-Jane was, right? From Coma.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's actually, have you seen the pictures? There's actually video.
I've seen the video, yeah.
Yeah, it's it was really great. They
no flack on her, but
no.
sometimes it's just meant for a role, and a captain's like a big role.
It is. So kind of like the owner of a company. I think now it's a good time to take a little break.
All right.
We can talk about whatever you want to, but I want to give a shout out to you because we had some issues here, and we called Hargraves, and they came out and just really took care of it. There was a little stumble at the front, but you showed up and you rallied your guys together and said, we need to think outside the box. And you guys came up with a great solution. and saved me money over what I was doing, which, as the universe works, while we're sitting there talking about it, there's a leak and we have to change the water heater.
God.
But you guys still did that too, and 5 stars. 5 stars. Man.
It was definitely a tricky one.
It was.
Sometimes, just like when you're a captain in a ship, you just gotta grab the wheel, get a hold of it, and figure it out. And the fact of the matter is, as good as your guys are, sometimes you've done it so long, you gotta step in and we're gonna go this way.
And they literally were in it.
Yeah.
I mean, they had dug a 3-foot hole.
And it wasn't like the marking. The city will tell you this.
Yeah,
they don't.
Please, they don't do it.
But no, I'm glad we were able. We even cleared some of that out and didn't even tell you we cleared it.
Oh,
cleared the line all the way to the street, and because we were like,
thank you.
I was like, this dude's dealt with enough. We've destroyed his yard. We got everything fixed. I was like, just go ahead and clear it. And no, I'm glad.
That's what for me. That's what Hargraves means now. Is that they'll come in and get the job done. So thank you. Thank you for that.
No problem.
And it is a Lafayette-based home small business. Well, small, but you guys you got a ton of trucks.
We're trying. I know.
Yeah.
We're working at it. We're on social media, linking up with this guy everywhere, and venturing out into TikTok. Some success, some not.
I just found the other day that the stuff I've been making and uploading hasn't been going to TikTok because they have a 60 meg limit or something. So
it's a whole thing.
I'm just finding that out now. Yeah. But luckily, I've got you to tell me all about it.
Me as an old person figuring this out now. But we're working on it. We've had a couple of them kind of do successful in the algorithm. I'm so tired of that word.
Oh, yeah.
But no, man, props to you. Lily Ray was awesome in the show.
Thank you.
She did such a good job. Like we mentioned earlier, we're musical dads. Our kids are in musical theater.
Yep.
And, it's just been fun to watch all the kids grow up.
It is. It is.
Sometimes you wind up in places you don't think you'll be. I was never a musical person.
Me either.
I grew up with a friend who was in musicals.
Yeah.
But it was never my thing. I was into sports, whatever. But man, when your kids enjoy something.
And it's so cool because now Aiden, he's aged out of it. So I was like, I know that Lily was really disappointed that he wasn't going to be in this last one. But then at the end of the first night and the curtains open up, he's working on stage. You know?
I think he's a lifer.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Lily will be too. She's one of the most likely to stage manage a couple of times, and I think she's perfectly fine with that. You know?
He already came to us and said, I'm changing my major. I've got to do theater. And, we're so supportive, and we just want him to be happy,
How about engineering with a theater minor?
I've mentioned, how about a job that makes so much money you can bankroll your own show and pay it all the way?
I've never taken that angle.
But, that is the way it works. I mean, when you're young, you don't necessarily think it works like that sometimes. And now some of the stuff I've seen, that's the way it works sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of money can do a lot of good.
A lot of money.
So,
yeah, that's true. Well, first of all, we're going to put right here how people get in touch with you. It's also going to be at the end. And how wide is your area?
Whew. Okay, so we do tons of repairs. We'll pretty much go anywhere. We have literally gone everywhere from New Orleans to right to the border of Arkansas, Shreveport, Voyager. We're licensed in Texas. In fact, I have to go to Texas and do some testing coming up. But I have a Texas master's license.
Wow.
We have some customers, branches. They say we got 50 units, 50 urgent cares.
Yeah.
We want y'all to do them go.
Wow. That's awesome.
So we'll go wherever. But we do specialize in Acadiana, Lafayette, Youngsville, Brobridge. We have a Youngsville office. But man, the customers are it's just, there's always going to be some difficult customers, but people, that's what I've appreciated with branching more from doing a little less construction and more repairs. That so many people leave they'll leave reviews and you just know they're really nice,
Yeah.
Which, admittedly, it feels good sometimes as the boss.
Well, it should. You're doing things right.
Some props when the guy, because Lord knows when they make a mistake, You're gonna get
You're
fussed
gonna
at.
hear about it. Yeah.
But no, we've done well. I'm blessed. So knock on
Knock on wood.
plastic microphones, and tables, and
Wow.
But,
Well, that's great. And so personally, what's going on? You just come out of the summer and
man, admit it, dude. When it's show week, when you're, it's a rough ride. Like,
yes.
and then I've had to push this thing back with a doctor's appointment, and COVID was. I don't know how I'm having a tough time with COVID in 2025.
I know.
I thought I was over
Crazy.
this. That was like, I don't remember 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
But
Tina still can't smell.
I didn't feel that bad, and then now looking back on it, like literally when we had to postpone, I don't remember 5 days.
Wow. That's something else.
It's just like what?
So that's when I
so
should have
over
broken
this.
into your house.
Dude.
Oh,
Well,
TV.
it was the week before the show, and my daughter had a singing role, so I was shipped to my parents' house and put on 2025 quarantine.
It's crazy.
It's too much. Nobody wants to hear.
And
about
you don't
that.
feel good enough to sit there and watch episodes.
Oh man, I watched some, but really in the thick of it, I was like, it was going in and out. And,
Yeah.
you know, that was when I watched The Wire when I first had COVID the
it's
first
such a good
time.
show.
You know.
Yeah.
And even like parts of season 2 of The Wire, I'm like, I know I saw this, but I don't know if I remember it. You know. But anyway.
Wow.
But no, we appreciate it. We're excited to be with Fave Fives, and I don't know, we've just been having a good time.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad that we are getting to do this. We already have our next episode planned. It's going to be Fave Five Sopranos episodes.
Yep.
Which he is a huge fan. I enjoyed the show. So I did go back and I actually reached out to a couple of my friends. Kevin Cincamano, the owner of Paper Heroes on Lake Charles. Huge, super big, large Sopranos fan. And so after I made my list, I sent it to him and I got his stamp of approval.
Gotcha.
So it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Oh no, when Sopranos hit, in some way for me, it changed a lot of things for me with the way, and I just a respect for art and the writing art, and it's just amazing.
Yeah. And he was such an interesting character. So I can't wait for us to be able to sit down and do that.
Oh no, I'll be ready.
All right. Well, I am ready to move on. Okay, so this is your first time here. So this is going to be our, you gotta put it up here. It's our penultimate choices.
True
you
story.
can't see it now. There's going to be up there.
Sopranos is where I learned what penultimate meant.
Really?
They were one of the ones who did to me, the best work with the penultimate episode.
Oh.
So
there's and I use it sometimes, there's a scene in Supernatural where somebody says penultimate, and Sam is like, who says penultimate? So it's all over.
it's just a cool word. It's fun.
All right.
It's fun.
Let us hear what your number 2
Now
is.
this is one where apparently I might get fussed at. We're going Deep Space Nine on this one.
Okay.
Which, to me, in a lot of ways, Deep Space Nine,
it's his
in
choice.
its own way, gets disrespected.
It's his choice.
Okay. And admittedly, this one's very
if you say The Ascent.
No.
Okay.
No, it's not The Ascent. It's In the Pale Moonlight. It's up there already, but I think it's the best one of the entire show. I'm a Garrett guy, though.
Yeah. I would definitely say if I had to pick 10 episodes, it would be in there.
I just think it's
Okay?
amazing.
It is plain, simple Garrett.
Yeah.
Was an amazing character.
And that's why I think, in all honesty, I think it is the best episode of the show. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think when I see it rated lower, quite a bit lower than that in a lot of lists, I don't know. I just think it's the best. I love that in that episode, it's not as easy as they save the day at the end. Mm-hmm. There's Sisko, he pays an ethical price in his own mind, and for me, the character of Garrick is just fascinating.
He really is. And
Tortured,
Andrew Robinson is just...
He's amazing. And it's when you watch a couple of, and you really start to get the backstory of Garrick, and you see, he's always lying. But it's because he's been
Or
trained to be that way.
sometimes he's using the truth in a way
Yeah.
that it makes people think he's lying.
Dude, he's
You know?
fascinating.
He really is. And his relationship with Dr. Bashir, oh man, I mean,
It's great. And it's
it
so
is
simple.
so simple.
And
from day one, they just were like, I don't know if the writers sat down and thought, we're going to do this, or this. Or after that first time of seeing those two guys
just
at the
organic.
table. Yeah.
And then those were the two, to me, some of the best interactions. You had Quark and Odo, and then Garrick. And with this one with Cisco,
Yeah.
like, and when Garrick kind of calls him out. I don't know if we want to explain the whole episode,
Sure, I
but
mean, no
basically,
all spoilers.
on an unconscious level, Cisco, in his own way, which Garrick kind of theorizes in the end, that it's subconsciously, basically knows that he has to have Garrick, because Garrick's the one who's willing to do what, in this reality, breaks the rules and needs to get done.
Right.
And when it comes to Trek, and
The vast majority.
Yeah,
the
you don't see
overwhelming
that.
majority. They're Prime Directive.
Yeah,
We've
exactly.
got to do the right thing. Which
Federation,
is great,
the Federation way.
But Kirk, he knew how to break or bend it as far as.
And you hadn't seen that to
No.
me in a while.
No.
They had a couple Voyager episodes that kind of delved into some of that stuff. But
Yeah.
this was one where the captain was in on it.
Right.
And, really kind of, I just thought it was really cool.
Is that the one? Was Adriana Barbeau as a Romulan senator? Was that the episode she was in?
The Romulan senator, the senator they bring in was a guy.
Okay. So,
No. But they bring him onto the ship. Garrick has this guy who comes in. He gets him out of Klingon jail and brings him in, and they create, a holographic image to bring them into the war.
right.
Okay? Which is the whole thing. It's the whole basis. Cisco says, I think he says early on, that's when I knew. And it starts off with him talking, to the audience. It seems like talking to the audience. He says, I knew I would have to bring them into the war, no matter what.
Yeah.
And they figure out a way, and they bring it in. But what Cisco thinks the plan is, it was never
Right
probably
up to the
ever
edge.
going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the edge of ethical in Cisco. But Garrick does what
Garrick does.
needed to be done, probably. I mean, I even feel guilty even saying that, but it kind of, in war,
Yeah.
it's survival. And
they were the Federation was losing.
yeah, it was, if they don't come in, it's over.
Yeah.
And this, you're talking your friends, your family, and every morning or every Friday, they're reading the list of the dead. And that's what allows you to say, on this one instance, we'll let them kind of blur the lines of right and wrong. And is it right or wrong? Kind of yes, kind of no.
The end result
But
overcome
it saves the Federation.
Yeah.
And, I just thought it was really cool. And in the end, Cisco actually comes in and attacks Garrick. Because he's like, because Garrick winds up murdering the senator.
Right.
He's killed on the ship on his way back after, they realized that the original plan was fake. It was a fake 3D or a hologram. But,
So don't they blow the ship up and blame it on the Dominion?
yeah, it winds up, and they had the little memory stick and everything.
Yeah.
It's highly recommended. And this one is just like underrated to me, like I said, because I think it's number one. I think it's their best work, and I love this quote at the end. It sums up the whole episode, and it's a Garrick quote. He has amazing quotes to me. Cisco walks in, punches Garrick, throws him on the ground or whatever, but Garrick actually fights back with words, and is like, you knew, on some level, you knew that I would be the one who would do what you couldn't do.
Yeah.
And his quote is, and all it cost was the life of one Romulan senator, one criminal, and the self-respect of one Starfleet officer. And I don't know about you, but I'd call that a bargain.
Wow.
And
Powerful.
to me, that was harder than any punch back. And at that point, Cisco in his mind doesn't even realize that that was an option, that he had done that, in theory, possibly on purpose.
Yeah.
But in the final part where he's signing off, making the log, he admits kind of that I'll be able to live with this.
Yeah. They'll have to.
And I just thought that one was like,
wow.
When that one was done, just sat back for a second and I was like, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. That was a big one for me. Big one.
Wow. Well, cool. No, I like that. I like that whole 7th season. It was amazing.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Whew.
All right. So for my penultimate episode, this is my rule breaker.
Okay.
This is the original series, and it's rated as 7.5. But I think I'm calling it underrated because of one scene that everybody makes fun of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's the episode, What Are Little Girls Made Of?
Okay.
So this
I
is
don't think
the
I've ever seen
one... I'm going to get to... You probably have. So, it's the very first episode on the reverse list that I really felt was underrated. Because I was going through, there were some bad episodes, they're like Shadow of the Gun and, and I was like, no. And when it got to this one, I was like, you know what? I'm going to choose this one. So if you don't remember, basically the crew goes and Christine Chappell's ex-fiance, Dr. Corby, is on this planet, and he's doing research on robotics or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so she goes down, and right away, there's like, something's just kind of not right.
Yeah.
Well, what you find out is that he has transferred his consciousness into an android body. Okay? And right then, it raises genuine philosophical questions about whether it's really still him. And you got to think about it, this was 1960s television, okay? So there's questions about consciousness, identity, what makes us human. There's that whole Phoenician ship thought process where if you replace a piece of a ship, okay, it's not the same ship, but if you replace all of the pieces, then is it still the ship? Okay, and that's what happens here. Ted Cassidy, Lurch from the original Addams Family, he plays Ruck.
Oh yeah,
massive android. Okay, he like throws Kirk around when they fight.
Perfect android.
Okay, and in the end, he realizes that the old ones were destroyed by their own creations, and it adds this tragedy to this automaton who you realizes the point that he's at. And it kind of, like Frankenstein, it kind of gives you compassion for the monster. But the scene I'm talking about is when Kirk swings his mighty stalagmite that ends up looking like a piece of the male anatomy. And I've seen that picture so many times. And I'm like, how did nobody on set see that? So it gets a lot of chuckles to it. And of course, there's Sherry Jackson's costume as Andrea.
Nothing like a good costume, huh?
Wow. Or lack of. And Kirk, when he gets caught and they make an android out of him, I don't know if you remember this part, but he keeps thinking all of this stuff, and when the android goes back up and starts having a conversation with Spock, he's like, mind your own business. And it's one of those things that they're like, something's not quite right with him. So it goes in a bunch of different ways and a bunch of different levels, and I think because of that one scene, it gets laughed off. And it really should be looked at as the great episode that I think it is.
It's just the writing they do, and it's like they can do whatever they want, and they just use it and do. I don't know, for so many. I mean, you're talking about episodes that are so old, and then back then they're really still pushing the envelope, and You know, it's utmost respect when it comes to me for things like that.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, and people will make fun of the fact that, okay, one episode it was Starfleet Command, and one episode it was Starfleet Patrol, or you know, and all of this stuff, and the buttons didn't make sense. But you step back and watch the stories. Watch the black and white guy with the white and black guy.
Yeah.
You know, look at Kirk and Uhura kissing. Look at the whole Nazi episode. You know.
Yeah.
There was so many stories that they had to slide in under those censors to get the point across.
Yeah.
You know? So, anyway, that's going to be my number 2, which means this is the point of the show where everyone in Hungary is like stopping in the streets to see. Well, actually, they're standing there waiting for yours, and so they could get to mine.
I understand.
But still, why don't we go ahead? Your absolute favorite underrated Star Trek episode.
Okay.
It's the Next Generation.
Of course. All right. This one, I don't even know. It's hard for me to put this one into words of like what it really meant to me I felt like it meant more than just the show. I felt like it was such a deeper meaning and hope for humanity in general.
Oh.
This one is, to me, the best one, my favorite Next Gen.
Okay.
I love The Chase. Season 6, episode 20, you know?
Yes, with Galen.
I just felt like
Right?
it was like a hope for humanity.
Yeah.
And you know, they've always used other races in the show, aliens but you know, in this episode, some of you probably realize and know, but you know, Picard has his old mentor shows up, and you just know he's got something that he wants. You know, he brings him this wonderful like archaeological find, but that's really kind of like a Trojan horse. He wants him to come on this great
tempting him.
Yeah. And you know, you see Picard and someone from his youth who was like his role model, basically his hero.
Yeah.
Wanting him to go, but he says, no, I have to stay back. But then, you know, when it breaks down further into the show, you have Galen, who's, you know, had started this archaeological find that was going to change the entire universe.
Yeah.
Revolutionize everything. And they go on The Chase.
Yeah.
Where you have all the different groups. You have, you know, Klingons, the Romulans there, and they're all racing.
The Cardassians, too.
Yeah. And they're all, you know, racing to get to the big find.
Yeah.
And when they get down to it at the bottom, you have the scene where they're all kind of in the cave, and there's the,
It's like the hologram thing that comes up.
Yeah.
Speaking to him.
Crusher like leans back and scrapes some of the old coral off the wall, and it's the last puzzle piece. And what happens is the hologram comes up, and what it basically is saying that there was a race that created everything. They were this great race, but they were all alone in the universe. Mm-hmm. And they basically got tired of being alone. And I guess it was like boredom or loneliness. Well, they took themselves and kind of like split their DNA up and shot it all over the galaxy.
Phrasing.
You know? Yeah. And with the hope that everybody would eventually come back together.
Yeah.
And, you know, have this great moment, which the hologram is probably thinking this is Yeller, but in reality, they're all there like chomping at each other's throats.
Exactly.
But then they have this one moment at the end where, you know, you can tell that Picard feels the disappointment that this was supposed to be this beautiful thing where we kind of, and I always thought it was meant for humans in general, you know, as a culture, multiple cultures, and one of the people, one of the leaders on one of the other ships sends him like a little message right before the end, and it was basically like that acknowledgement of, I know what just happened, and maybe, there might be something to this, and you can feel like somebody else. Picard was happy that somebody else got it,
Right.
and it was such a powerful moment.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was so much. For me, it gave me hope for people in general.
Oh wow.
A hope that I don't know exists anymore.
Yeah.
But it's what I would want the world to be.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was a really interesting episode, and
doesn't get talked about a lot.
I just had that one was just. It's such a powerful meaning. Some of the episodes when they write them, they're great, and some of the episodes are profound on like a moral and ethical. And I just felt like this one was like, So that's my favorite underrated episode.
Okay. For that at all.
I was worried.
Nah,
I hit my mic. My heart's beating.
One thing that I loved about that. So you remember the Cardassian woman commander, female commander? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's Linda Thorson.
Okay.
Did you watch the Avengers back in the 60s?
They would be on at my grandparents'. I can't say that I would know anybody and be able to pick them out.
Well, Diana Rigg was Mrs. Peel.
Okay.
And after she left the show, and I'm not sure about the continuity, but he would get another female assistant. Mm-hmm. It was Linda Thorson.
Cool.
So, yeah. So there's a little thing there. But anyway. No. Okay, well, I'm just going to rip the bandage
Here we go.
off of it. And I'm going to say things that are going to spoil it for you.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming you have never seen Lower Decks.
No.
Okay. After watching all of Strange New Worlds and jumping straight to season 3 of Picard, then you need to go and watch.
Yeah, I've heard good things of Lower Decks.
So many good things. Mm-hmm. So good, in fact, that 2 of the animated people from there actually show up in real life in the Strange New Worlds episode, and vice versa. So, anyway, but I am choosing the premiere episode. Mm-hmm. It's called Second Contact. Now, the thing is that we all know a lot of times the very first episode is just not good. Because you're having to meet everybody, you're having to, the introduce. This episode, I think, is the exception to the rule. Mm-hmm. So the Cerritos, which is the ship that all this takes place on, is its main duty is second contact. Okay? So you got first contact where you go and meet the people. Mm-hmm. So this is the ship that they send to do the paperwork.
I was going to say, the diplomacy. Yeah.
Not even the diplomacy, really. It's like, okay, well, you need to sign here. Yeah. You do this.
We have these germs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so it's right off. You're like, oh, God, these guys are like, there's no epic space battles coming or whatnot. But you start to meet the characters, and each one of them makes you remember another character from another show. For example, Boimler. He wants to please everyone, okay? He wants to be the fastest captain ever was. Mm-hmm. He's just not that good. But he makes you think of what Wesley could have been if they did it right. Okay? And then you get, all these different characters. I don't want to spoil it all for you. And now that I know you haven't seen it, I'm not going to give a lot of it away.
I'm kind of excited now because I took a class at UL on pilot episodes and had to write a pilot episode. So I definitely have an appreciation.
Who did you take that with?
Oh, Joshua, what's his last name? It was
White?
I can see him. Cribbs?
Cribbs,
no?
Okay.
Man, he's a younger guy. I thought that was so much fun.
Yeah, I bet.
Because when you realize what a pilot episode has to do, it's overwhelming.
It's got to hook you.
It's got to have everything in it. It's got to explain characters and make you show up next week, and that is hard to do.
Yeah.
That's exciting for me. I'll check it out for sure.
I definitely love it. And they're short. They're like 22. And there's so many Trek actors who come in and voice their characters. Yeah. And then there's all of these other people, the Klingons and there's some other races and all this stuff, and it's just a fun show.
Yeah.
And then I can't wait to get to Badgie. Badgie's the whole thing, man. It's great. He is voiced by, the super excited guy from 30 Rock, who's like, all the time. He does the voice of this holodeck creation.
I've heard there's a lot of voiceovers and a lot of
so
pop-ups and tie-ins.
You have, like, at some points, you just need to pause it and just sit there and look. And, like,
everything
in this
the background.
episode, oh my God, there's actually one thing in there that blows my mind. It is such a deep reference cut. And it has this kind of stuff all the time. So, for that, this is actually one of the lowest rated on IMDb, and I forgot to write the number down. But it is literally one of those shows where instead of starting off here and climbing, they start up here, and then it just builds off of the other stuff, and they have such a reverence for the material that it's not like they're not poking fun. They're, so I mean,
I take the material serious.
It is.
That's why. It's actually why I haven't watched the first seasons of Picard, because it's like, I'm busy, but in reality, it's kind of like to protect myself. I don't want to see it be disrespected, but I've finally gotten to the point in my life where I have a little bit of free time.
Yeah.
And it's time.
Do you have Paramount to stream?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I would, if you could only watch one season.
Yeah.
You have to decide, do I want to live through an adventure of Picard's? Or do I want another season of Next Generation? Okay? So it literally comes down to that. And as good as it sounds for another season of Next Gen, they deliver. Okay, so it's tough. So you decide. Well, I just want to thank you so much for making this happen. And I'm sorry about...
I'm still waiting for something to go wrong.
I know, right?
Impossible episode.
Oh, crap, I forgot to hit record. But... I know you went through a lot personally too for us to finally get here. So I really think you guys are always just wonderful people, and I'm glad that you came.
Oh man,
make me cry.
Appreciate that, man. Seriously.
And I want to thank you for tuning in to this episode of Fave Five for Fans. We hope you enjoyed diving through our trek. Yeah, trek.
Got you.
Of episodes. And if this episode resonated with you, here's something that you can do to help us. It's really simple. Just go to one of these things, okay?
It's so easy.
So easy. Go to one of these social medias or all of them. Leave me a review. Leave me a 5-star review. And it helps just work the aforementioned algorithm to get more people. And it's like I say, if you didn't like the episode, that's okay. We understand. Tell somebody you don't like about the show. And maybe it ruins their day,
Hey.
So you can also feel free to find us on YouTube, where you may be watching this episode right now, and across all the social media platforms. Come on there. Leave us a review. Tell us what your favorite underrated episode, or even better, tell us how wrong he was. How wrong? Come on. Ship in a bottle? I said I wasn't going to do it. Oh, God. So thanks for being a part of the Plastic Microphone Studios. And speaking of the Plastic Microphone Studios, go over to X and Instagram now and follow at PM Studio Pod. And you can learn all about all the other shows that are coming together, from Average Home Theater, from Red Dog Terrain. The new Sequel House is coming out soon. And we got a couple of other things that are going to be out by the end of the year. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
That's what I like to hear.
New episodes come out every Friday.
Allegedly.
So subscribe and follow us. You earned that one. So you catch all of the new episodes. And remember, folks, it may not be the best. It may not be the most popular. But if it's your favorite, or your favorite, or your favorite, then that's good enough for us. Thanks so much for joining us. Travis, beam us out.
Aiden is for you. Bibbidi bobbidi.
Okay.
No one else will get it, but he'll get it. Go watch Star Trek.
Go watch Star Trek.